or, some angriness. And that's where people mostly go, like, shut up, right?
That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Right. But that's not it. You approach with love and kindness, because Slick is scared. Slick's whole purpose in life is to keep you safe. And so those things, and he's saying those things because he's completely afraid of the leaps and the bounds and the stretching that you're doing, and it's going to change us. It's, it's not going to be safe for you. I don't want you to fail. And he's really, really frightened. So like a frightened child, right? And Elizabeth Gilbert, she has a great analogy where she says, what you do is you speak with immense love, and you open the car door and say, hey, Slick, right? Come on in, get in the passenger seat. It's going to be okay, baby. I'm driving. I love you. I appreciate you. I understand you're afraid, but it's going to be okay. And guess what? I'm never going to leave you behind, Slick. You are part of me, and I love you. And we're going to do this together, right? That is speaking to your inner critic in a completely different way.
It
in a loving way,
is,
right?
yes.
Right. So that's addressing the inner critic. And so then that's part one. And then part two is your inner heroine, right? So it's the same kind of exercise. So, close your eyes and think about your inner heroine, gender, clothes they're wearing, what they look like, if it's a human being, or, what are some of the fabulous, amazing, juicy things that this thing says to you? Obviously cheering you on, right? About how wonderful and amazing you are. That was awesome.
This. You can do it.
Right.
Yes.
Those kinds of things, right? And it's so interesting. So, so think about, I don't want to be a spoiler, but think about what that person looks like and what the name is, and so you write it all down, right? She's this and this, and
so
she looks like this.
You have
Go
to
ahead.
tell us who you're.
No, you tell. I already told about Slick. So
but I want to know who's counting.
No, you tell us about your inner heroine.
Well, the first thing that came to my mind, and don't ask me why, is a Victorian dress, like velvet, and hair piled up.
Yeah.
And very poised and calm. Yeah, why did that come to my mind? I don't know.
Right.
And a lot of hand gestures. I pictured her doing a lot of hand gestures.
Right.
That's weird.
And she says,
you can do it.
Yeah.
You've got this.
Right. And her name?
Victoria.
Right. So you've gone through that exercise, right? And so then when somebody has totally written that out and has stepped into the inner heroine, I ask them to consider this. And I'm asking you to consider this.
Okay.
That her name is your name. And that is you, my love. Wow. That is you. That is the essence.
Ooh, goosies.
Yeah,
oh,
the
my
authentic
gosh.
you. Yeah, so her name is Deb.
You make me tear up every time I'm with you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good stuff, right?
Really good
stuff. So just with visioning and changing the language, and that was a very short exercise. You felt a shift, right? You felt a shift.
Yes.
And that's just one exercise on overcoming the fears, that language that stops us in our tracks, right? So now, I have Slick. And it was so funny when I did this first exercise, her name was Liz.
Isn't that interesting?
Right. Which, my full name is Elizabeth, right? And I didn't know where it was going. And of course, and then she told me this, right? Karen Ely from the Women's Sedona Institute, who I got my retreat facilitator certification from, which led us through this exercise. And I was like, wow.
Wow, that is some powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Really. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Good. Good.
Really, really interesting. Chandra, did you love it or what?
Absolutely loved it. I think it's an eye opener,
Mm-hmm.
especially naming both sides of that, and then the way you described talking to the inner critic. I would have never guessed with the approach of love.
No, but it makes so much sense because even the way you treat mean people is like that with love, and so that they see that. So it does make sense, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. It does.
Absolutely, right? And so I had the pleasure of seeing Sarah McLean live at the Flint Planetarium a couple of weeks ago. For those that don't know Sarah McLean, so she's a meditation guru, who's worked with Deepak Chopra, and she was there talking about her new book, The Power of Attraction, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. So she was saying something, I mean, that I knew, but it also shifted me. And I just love learning from people, right? Mm-hmm. So we all have so much information and wisdom and just little, if you can take a nugget from everybody, and I know you can. So she was talking about the power of love and light. And she was saying that she was quoting a scientific study, I believe it was at Stanford or something. So don't quote me on this, but, actually looking at the changes of cells at a molecular level, sending, negative thoughts and negative energy to a dish, and then sending negative or positive thoughts and loving thoughts and light to another dish. And the growth is amazing in the love and light dish. And then the negative thoughts and it just, it shifts, and it's, not natural. And so I just, when I think about people who are suffering, and I try not to judge, right? Sending love and light to them from thousands and thousands of miles away. I know that I have the ability to change them on a cellular level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny because when we were young and going to school, something like that would have never been in a classroom.
No.
And now I was just reading, last week one day, they moistened cotton balls, and I think this was I want to say it was in Flint or Lansing, and they moistened cotton balls and put them in jars in a classroom, and they put one jar at one end of the classroom and one at the other end, and when the kids came in the morning, they had to talk nice to one jar and mean to the other. And the nice jar got to hear classical music, and the mean jar didn't get to hear anything. And the cotton balls stayed all white and fluffy and, nice in that jar, and they turned all black and moldy in the other one.
Wow. See, isn't it
I'm
amazing?
I'm going to do that experiment. I think
that is so cool, right?
And the teacher's whole point was to be nice to everybody.
Right. So think about that when we're talking about fears, and if you know someone who's struggling with something, or, in a state of fear, or even yourself, right? Loving kindness, sending loving kindness.
And pampering and take care.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's always somebody, you always know somebody that's going through something.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to go out of your way you can send love and light no matter where you are, just like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And to just let that person always know that you are there. You are there. That's all that you need, that you are there, and that you love them.
Right. Because, remember what I said, fear always, the core of fear is the loss of love.
And that is profound, and it is very true.
Right. Because if you're totally surrounded with love, being immersed in love.
And as well as self.
Right. Then it helps you move through the fear. How can you not be okay?
It helps you dry that pee-pee up just a little bit better.
Yeah, right. You don't need the Depends.
Right.
You don't.
You've got this, sister.
Yeah.
I love it. Very
Yeah.
good. Very good. Chandra, did you want to say anything before we go to commercial break?
I'm just amazed. I think this is a fabulous group of women. I think the energy that's in here right now is really high. And I don't know, I hope the listeners are feeling that on the outside as well. I think there's a lot of good tidbits going on. I'm taking it in, taking it all in. It's wonderful.
It is. I love the Devolution show, and I love Beth Bryce.
Oh,
And I love Chandra Jewel.
I do too.
It's good.
Yep.
So we're going to take a little break, and you have to come back. I mean, you have to stick with us because we're going to talk some more good stuff. We're going to talk lots, and Slick isn't here, so it'll be okay.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a power pose and anchoring yourself.
Ooh, I love anchors. Good. All right, so we'll be right back.
The divas are going to refill their wine glasses. The Devolution show will be right back.
Hi, I'm Mitzi, and I'm from Shelter House, and I'm with my coworker Allie here, and we're super excited. We have I know it'll sound long, a 4-hour program planned, but April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and we are very grateful to be on the radio to bring more awareness out to the public to this huge epidemic that is in our world. And I'm going to have Allie let you tell you a little bit more about all the disciplines that will be here for the next few days. Yeah, it's a few days. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we are going to have quite a few individuals here to help us explore the different dynamics of sexual assault and what that looks like. So Mitzi and I will be here for all 4 hours. We're from Shelter House in Midland. We're also going to have our coworker Vicky, who is the Blueprint for Safety supervisor, the coordinator. And we're going to have a police officer here, Officer Paul McDonald from the Midland Police Department, and J.D. Brooks
Yes.
from the Midland County Prosecutor's Office, which is really exciting. He's our elected prosecutor. So he's really excited to come with us and talk about this issue that's in all of our communities.
Yeah. And just so you know, it's a tough subject. It's one of those things people don't like to talk about, but it's out there. And we're hoping within the 4 hours you will learn what sexual assault is, what it isn't, what myths are out there, why it gets prosecuted, maybe why it doesn't, why so many people are involved. And, we're here. We want women and men to know that there is help for you. And that is the goal. We want you to know and understand and stuff what is out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So join us. It'll be great.
New Beginnings Fair, Psychic Reading Center, Alternative and Holistic Health. Visit 1022 North Genesee Road, Burton, Michigan. Call 810-744-4077.
What is Singular and what can it do for you? Hi, I'm Brenda Presnell. Personally, I've had results of losing 9 pounds in just 8 days. Lost a total of 25 pounds in only 3 weeks. Recovered from chronic migraines after suffering for 17 years. And my hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's disease has improved significantly. Not to mention, my rheumatoid arthritis pain is completely relieved from Singular. It's helped several others in losing substantial amount of weight in only 8 days, and those who have used Singular have kept the weight off. Our plant-based gluten-free system helps lower and regulate cholesterol, combat anxiety, improve your sleep, gain an extraordinary amount of energy while improving your overall health and wellness. Our guarantees from Singular make us much more different than any other competitor with our family-like structure. Free one-on-one coaching through your journey. Lose anywhere from 5 to 15 pounds in your first 8 days with a 100% money-back guarantee. For more information about Singular, you can contact me, Brenda Presnell, at 734-272-9570, or go to www.8dayx.com. That's www.8daysx.com, and tell them Brenda sent you.
Are your muscles tense, achy, or just worn out? Let Juliana Tacey Massage Therapy soothe your pain away. She's licensed, insured, and board certified. She will even come to your location. She can be reached at 989-684-8255. Personal pampering from head to toe with Hairspray Holly, including nail art, hair treatments, special occasions, and so much more. Call Holly today at 989-225-8887.
Is your dog stinky or too hairy?